Hello guys, if you remember my previous video a year ago that I changed the pinion cell, the oil cell of the rear differential because there's a leak, the oil is keep on dripping. So after a year the leak came back again, and this time I suspect that it's a companion flange it's already worn out. So we will take a look on what's going on underneath. So first, I lift up the rear side of the vehicle. As you can see guys, there's an oil leak and it keeps on dripping for many days now. So we will open it and we will unscrew all the bolts on the flange. First thing is, before you remove the propeller, make it sure that you are going to put a mark to line up when you return it back, so you can prevent a possible vibration when you run the vehicle. Guys, in a situation like this, safety first, wear your safety glasses. This vehicle need 916 or 14 mm of socket to remove those 6 bolts. Before you remove the nut, you need to measure the distance from the face of the nut to the face of the shaft. So when you return it back or tighten it back, you're not going to over tight it because there's a preload on the bearing inside. And then you better put a marking again so it's easier for you to remember. And it's better to write down the exact distance from the face of the nut to the face of the shaft. In my case, I got 0.195 of an inch. So I write it down on the flange so I can remember it very easily. On this vehicle, I need 30 mm of socket to remove the nut. We need to use the propeller to remove the companion flange. Okay guys, we already talked of the companion flange. As you can see, there is a damage groove around the surface of the sealing. This is the contact point of the oil cell. So the oil exit on this surface and create a leak. I tried to save these parts guys, so I bought a ready sleeve wherein we can install it on the surface of the ceiling to hide those worn out or grooves around the surface. But unfortunately, the ready sleeve is incompatible. It comes with a different dimension. So I decided to buy a new parts instead. This is the old parts, and then the new parts in box just arrived. I bought these parts directly in Nissan store auto parts. This is brand new, exactly the same, and I made a quick visual inspection, and it seems they are all the same. And I measured the important area of these parts, the sealing diameter, and they are all the same. the bolt pattern. Just a quick check on it. And they are all perfect. It's time to install now the new companion flange. In this case, we don't have any more the marking on the flange, so we're gonna have a visual inspection from the bolt pattern of the propeller to the bolt pattern on our new flange. So try to line it up, and then if everything looks good, so it's time now to tighten those knots. And remember the marking that we made, so you are not going to over tighten the knot. Double check the distance by using a caliper from the face of the nut to the face of the shaft. We mark it 0.195 of an inch, so it should be on the same distance. And if not, tighten it again carefully so you won't able to over tighten the nut, because the bearing inside need a proper load. I applied grease on the surface to serve as a anti-seize lubricant, because as you have noticed, when we remove this propeller, it's very hard to take it off because those rust build up inside. Okay guys, we need this blue thread locker. We put it on a thread of the bolt so the nut will hold it tight. and the job is almost done. And after 10 days, guys, I inspect the parts that we installed and the leak is gone. Thank you for watching, guys. My next videos, don't forget to subscribe.